Oh, this question, this is one, and I think we already kind of visited it, but it says many survivors fear revisiting painful memories. How does EMDR ensure that reprocessing is safe and not re-traumatizing? So that's kind of similar to what I was mentioning in the beginning, where a lot of times I think that's what a lot of people fear is, oh God, I'm gonna have to go back and I'm gonna have to completely relive everything. I'm gonna have to feel everything and experience everything, but that's not true.
So it is to a degree. Like I don't want to downplay the fact that you're going to be reliving that trauma for that moment, but you're also going to be able to walk through that trauma and not have it interrupt your life anymore.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
the outcome is so much stronger than that moment of, or however much it is,
Yeah.
moments of feeling that trauma come up, that trigger come up. It's going to come up, but it needs to come up so that we can not feel that way anymore.
Yeah, yeah, and the thing is, the thing to remember is you're in a safe place doing this, and
Mm-hmm.
and I know that my therapist reminded me of that
Mm-hmm.
regularly, in things that she would say to remind me that I'm in a safe place, and if this is too
Mm-hmm.
much, really walked me through it on my timeline,
Mm-hmm.
on where I was at. Because there's a couple times I came on and I wasn't in a good place, and she'd
Mm-hmm.
say, we don't have to do EMDR today. We can just talk or whatever it is you want to do. So that's the thing that, we have to remember. We may have to, go back and revisit that, but we're in a safe place. We're not in the same place we were
Mm-hmm.
back in the day. Right.
Mm-hmm. What I like to do with my clients too, and I check in with them, I always check in with them in the beginning because either we've done an EMDR session the previous time that we met. I want to check in with them. Did anything come up? A
Yeah.
lot of a lot of people will tell me that they've had very vivid dreams. I said that's
Yeah.
not unusual.
Yeah.
It's your subconscious really working through this in
Hmm.
your sleep, you know? Um, but I check in with people to see, I check in with my clients to see where are you at? How was the last session? Anything else come up around it? I think there has to be a level of process as well as EMDR. EMDR isn't very, it's not like traditional talk therapy. So
Mm-mm.
I always want to check in with my clients just to see what's come up for them.
Hmm.
Um, because you won't get that any other way. So I do like an EMDR, I do a process session next, anything come up? Do you want to process it? If nothing came up, all right, let's jump right back into where we were.
Yeah. 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 It's interesting. It's really, because I had a lot of different, um, the emotions weren't as intense, but
Hmm.
the visual was very, very intense.
Hmm. So that is the bilateral stim. And so that
Okay.
when you're doing EMDR and you're closing your eyes, and you're bringing up everything about that traumatic experience, sense, your visuals, your auditory, every
Mhm.
sense you can sense at that time comes up. A lot of that is the visual part of it,
Mhm.
more so than the emotional part. So the bilateral stim really allows you, and this is bilateral stim.
Yeah, I meant to ask you to
Avoid.
explain the bilateral stim, what that meant
Mhm.
or
So
what
the
it looks like.
bilateral, sorry, I'm adjusting. The bilateral stim is this. This is the old, I shouldn't say the old way of doing it. This is
The
the
original way?
the
Yeah.
original traditional way of doing it. Um, Now people have light bars. They
Mhm.
have headphones that will make a sound in each ear.
Yeah, I've
Um,
had that one, and I've had on because my therapist, I was on Zoom with her, or not Zoom, but on
yep.
online, and so she
Mhm.
has one where it goes across the screen. A ball goes across the screen.
Yep, that's how I do it because we're in 8 states. So I do EMDR in 8 states around, the United States. I do it all virtually. I have that ball that goes across.
Mhm.
Clients love it too because they can pick the color of the ball. We have all different
Oh,
colors. I was like, yeah, pick the color of the ball today,
how
So
funny.
it's cute. But that's what allows that drawer, that cabinet, that to open up and really take out that file and really, get into where I was at that time that this took place is the bilateral stim. And that's all neurology. I couldn't even explain it if I tried. I know Francine Shapiro said that the way she created EMDR was she would go like this with her eyes back and forth. And it would allow her to bring up what she was upset about. Um,
Hmm.
it's very similar to, well, and I tell my clients the way that I explain it to them is it's REM sleep. When you're in rapid eye movement,
Oh, okay.
the rapid eye movement back and forth like that is what we do when we're in our deepest sleep. And that's where we dream.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
that's exactly what we're simulating when we do EMDR, the bilateral stim, is the back and forth to bring up that recollection, the memory.
Well, that's interesting because I find that interesting though, and I didn't even realize that until we were talking about it. But I thought, well, it's just because I'm very visual that's
Hmm.
why it was very visual for me. It was very detailed for me. Like when I was a little girl, I mean, when I was standing there, I could see myself as a little girl looking up at my mom, talking to her, and it was very,
Hmm. Hmm.
very vivid. But
Hmm.
yet she wasn't scared, she wasn't sad, she wasn't, she's a little angry, but
Hmm.
other than that, there wasn't that strong emotion that I probably had back in the day when it originally happened.
Right, right. And we remember those things so vividly,
Yes, we do.
so vividly. Even though I tell clients that it's like we have a recorder on, like an old VHS. I'm aging myself here, but remember the old VHSs
Yes.
where it used to have the cover? We can hear all of it, right? We might not be able to see it because our brain takes us to a different place because it's too traumatic, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But everything is there, and we're bringing up that visual with the bilateral to meet those emotions,
Hmm.
And a lot of clients too have thought about this for so many years that, they've grown strength in this. You weren't
Mm.
little anymore to be able to challenge your mom when you were talking to her, even though in your mind you were still little Lisa, you have grown so much, you've challenged yourself so much. So it's almost like, God, why did I hold on to this for so long?